The battle had become a one-sided demonstration of human superiority. What had started as an alien invasion force of 3,000 ships was now a scattered collection of burning wrecks and desperate survivors. The Indomitable floated calmly in space, its fighter squadrons weaving between enemy vessels like deadly schools of fish. Supreme Commander Vorthak Crystallis watched his fleet die around him. His crystal body flickered between colors of rage, fear, and disbelief. In 40 years of commanding galactic fleets, he had never seen anything like this. His most advanced warships were being destroyed by fighters that seemed to exist in a different reality. "How many ships have we lost?" he demanded. "Over 2,000 confirmed destroyed," his tactical officer reported, his crystal voice cracking with stress. "Another 500 are damaged beyond repair. Our weapons are completely ineffective against their phase shift technology." Admiral Helix Prime's robotic fleet was faring no better. His mechanical ships, built for precision and efficiency, were being systematically dismantled by human weapons that ignored every defensive system the collective had ever designed. His cold, calculating mind struggled to process the impossible situation. "Run analysis on human weapon frequencies," he ordered his computer systems. "There must be a way to adapt our shields." The analysis came back negative. The human weapons didn't just use different frequencies. They operated on completely different principles. They passed through conventional matter like it was empty space, but became solid when they contacted critical ship systems. It was technology that shouldn't exist according to known science. General Drakmor Rage, leader of the Federation's war fleet, was screaming orders at his subordinates as his massive dreadnoughts exploded around him. His red skin had turned almost black with fury, and his sharp teeth were bared in frustrated rage. "Ram them," he roared. "If we can't shoot them, we'll crush them." But ramming didn't work either. The human fighters simply phase-shifted out of normal space when enemy ships tried to hit them, appearing behind their attackers to strike at engines and weapon systems. The Federation's aggressive tactics were useless against an enemy that could become incorporeal at will. Dr. Kim Soo-jin watched the battle from her control center on Earth. The woman who had spent her entire career developing humanity's secret weapons felt a mixture of pride and amazement. The technology she had helped create was performing even better than their best simulations had predicted. "All human systems are functioning perfectly," she reported to Admiral Park Ji-woo. "Our fighters haven't lost a single unit, and the Indomitable hasn't even needed to use its main weapons yet." That was about to change. A group of desperate alien commanders decided to coordinate a suicide attack against the massive human carrier. If they could destroy the Indomitable, maybe they could turn the battle around. 50 of their largest ships formed up and charged straight at the human supercarrier. Captain Han So-young watched the approaching attack with calm interest. "Chief Engineer Choi, prepare the quantum disruption cannon." "Yes, Captain," Choi Mi-ran replied from the engineering deck. "Main weapon charging now." The quantum disruption cannon was the Indomitable's most devastating weapon. It didn't just destroy targets, it tore holes in space-time itself, completely removing whatever it hit from existence. It was based on principles that human scientists had discovered while studying the fundamental structure of reality. "Weapon charged and ready," Choi reported. "Fire," Captain Han ordered calmly. The Indomitable's main gun fired once. A beam of pure energy, darker than the space around it, reached out and touched the lead alien dreadnought. The massive ship, over 2 kilometers long and built to withstand planet-cracking weapons, simply ceased to exist. It didn't explode or break apart. It was there one moment and gone the next. But that wasn't the most terrifying part. Where the ship had been, a temporary rift in space-time appeared, showing the twisted geometry of folded dimensions. The other alien ships in the attack formation were caught in gravitational distortions that crushed them like tin cans. "Impossible," whispered Admiral Helix Prime as his sensors recorded the impossible weapon. "They can manipulate space-time itself." The surviving alien commanders finally understood the truth. Humanity hadn't just matched galactic technology, they had surpassed it by decades, maybe centuries. While the aliens had been content with their existing weapons and shields, humans had been pushing the boundaries of science itself. Commander Yoon Tae-min coordinated his fighter squadrons as they finished off the remaining alien ships. Many enemy vessels were trying to surrender, but their hyperspace drives had been disabled. They were trapped in the solar system with no way to escape or call for help. "This is Shadow 7 to all squadrons," he broadcast. "Begin accepting surrenders. We want prisoners who can tell the galaxy what happened here." Pilot Lee Jun-ho flew his fighter through the wreckage of what had once been the galaxy's most powerful fleet. His phase shift systems were still working perfectly, and his weapons had unlimited ammunition thanks to their quantum charging systems. It was almost unfair how one-sided the battle had become. "Flight control, this is Gold Leader," he reported. "Enemy resistance is minimal. Most remaining ships are signaling surrender." The truth about humanity's technological advancement was more complex than anyone realized. For over 50 years, human scientists had been studying every piece of alien technology they could find. Crashed ships, abandoned stations, even small devices dropped by careless alien visitors. Everything had been analyzed and understood. But humans hadn't just copied alien technology. They had improved it, combined it in new ways, and discovered principles that the original builders had never imagined. Phase shift technology came from studying alien stealth systems. Quantum weapons were developed from power core designs found in a derelict ship. The space-time manipulation cannon was based on theories developed by human physicists working with alien mathematics. Chief Engineer Choi Mi-ran monitored all the ship's systems as the battle wound down. Every piece of technology on the Indomitable represented years of secret research and development. The ship's quantum fusion reactors, adaptive AI systems, and phase shift capabilities were all improvements on alien designs. "Captain," she reported, "all systems operating at peak efficiency. We could fight another battle this size without any problems." That statement sent chills through every alien who heard it on the captured communication channels. The humans weren't even working hard to destroy their fleet. This devastating defeat had been easy for them. Admiral Park Ji-woo opened a communication channel that reached not just the surviving alien ships, but the entire galaxy through hijacked subspace networks. Her calm voice carried to every world, every station, every ship in known space. "People of the galaxy," she began, "for too long you have seen humanity as weak, primitive, and useful only as laborers and servants. Today you learn the truth. We allowed you to see us as inferior because it served our purposes. While you believed we were struggling with basic technology, we were studying, learning, and advancing." Her words were being recorded and broadcast across thousands of star systems. The galaxy was listening to the voice of its new superpower. "We are not your subjects," Admiral Park continued. "We are not your equals. We have surpassed you in every way that matters. This demonstration is your only warning. Humanity will no longer tolerate being treated as a lesser species." The message was clear, and the proof floated around the solar system in the form of thousands of destroyed alien ships. The galaxy's balance of power had shifted in a single day, and everyone now knew that Earth was no longer a small, weak planet on the edge of civilization. Humanity had revealed its true strength, and the universe would never be the same. 3 months after the battle that changed everything, the galaxy was still trying to understand its new reality. The massive space station Nexus Prime, which had once been the symbol of alien authority, now operated under human oversight. The Indomitable floated nearby like a metal mountain, its presence a constant reminder of humanity's power. Captain Lee Dae-ho, now promoted to admiral, stood on the bridge of his new flagship. It wasn't the old soul's pride anymore. That ship was now in a museum. His new vessel was sleek, powerful, and equipped with the same advanced technology that had devastated the alien fleet. Earth had stopped hiding its true capabilities. "Admiral," his communications officer reported, "we're receiving surrender documents from the Helix Collective. They're offering to become a protectorate of Earth." Lee nodded calmly. It was the third such offer this week. Word had spread quickly through the galaxy. Humanity was no longer the weak species that could be pushed around. Every major civilization was now trying to make deals and alliances with Earth. The Indomitable had taken position at Nexus Prime not as a conqueror, but as the new authority. Captain Han So-young, now bearing the title of Fleet Admiral, had established her command center in what used to be the Galactic Council's main chamber. The aliens who had once issued ultimatums to humanity now waited nervously for human approval of their policies. "Fleet Admiral," her aide announced, "the Vorthak Empire is requesting permission to maintain their current territory. They're offering to pay tribute in rare minerals and advanced crystals." "Approved," Han replied without looking up from her reports. but make it clear that their tribute payments will go toward reparations for human colonies they've exploited over the years. The galaxy's former masters were learning to live under new management. The three great civilizations that had controlled space for centuries were now competing for Earth's favor. They offered technology, resources, and knowledge in exchange for permission to continue existing as independent states. Dr. Kim Soo-jin had been promoted to head of Earth's new Department of Galactic Affairs. Her job was to oversee the transition from a galaxy ruled by aliens to one guided by human interests. She worked from a new facility built on the moon, where Earth's most advanced research continued around the clock. "The intelligence reports are fascinating," she told Admiral Park Ji-woo during their weekly briefing. "It turns out the aliens have been stagnant for centuries. They stopped innovating because they thought they knew everything. While they grew comfortable, we kept learning. The revelation of humanity's true capabilities had been just the beginning. As Earth revealed more of its hidden technology, the galaxy discovered that the indomitable wasn't unique. Construction sites throughout the solar system showed the skeletal frames of even larger ships taking shape. Humanity had been building a secret fleet for decades. Commander Yoon Tae-min now led diplomatic missions to former enemy worlds. Instead of traveling in disguise, he flew openly in advanced human ships that announced Earth's presence wherever they went. The same civilizations that had mocked humanity now desperately sought meetings with human representatives. The Drakmor Federation is offering to share their military database, he reported from his latest mission. They want to prove their usefulness to the new order. These diplomatic missions served multiple purposes. They gathered intelligence about former enemies, established human authority throughout the galaxy, and made it clear that Earth's reach now extended far beyond the solar system. Human ships patrolled major trade routes, and human bases were being established in strategic locations. The most dramatic changes were happening on planets where humans had been treated as second-class citizens. Pilot Lee Jun-ho now led liberation missions, arriving with squadrons of advanced fighters to free human colonies from alien control. The same colonists who had lived under alien rule for generations were now protected by Earth's most powerful warships. The Kepler-7 colony is now fully autonomous, he reported after his latest mission. The Vorthak mining operation has been shut down, and the colonists are establishing their own government. But the humans weren't interested in becoming the same kind of oppressive overlords the aliens had been. Instead of demanding submission, Earth offered partnership to species that had been oppressed by the former galactic powers. Small civilizations that had lived in fear of the great empires found themselves protected by human fleets. Chief Engineer Choi Mi-ran had been given unlimited resources to continue advancing human technology. Her engineering teams worked on projects that would have seemed impossible just months before. The phase shift technology that had surprised the aliens was already being improved, and new weapons based on quantum manipulation were being tested. "We're developing ships that can phase entire planets out of normal space," she explained to a gathering of Earth's top scientists. "If someone threatens us, we can make their homeworld temporarily cease to exist until they reconsider their position." The psychological effect of humanity's demonstration was as important as the military victory itself. The galaxy had spent centuries believing that the three great civilizations represented the peak of technological development. Discovering that a supposedly primitive species had surpassed them all created a crisis of confidence that rippled through every star system. Fleet Admiral Han So-young stood in the observation deck of the Indomitable, watching as human construction ships began building a new space station. This one would be even larger than Nexus Prime, and it would serve as the headquarters for Earth's expanding influence throughout the galaxy. "The psychology reports are interesting," she told her staff. "Most alien species are actually relieved that we're in charge now. The old system was based on fear and oppression. We're offering them something better." Earth's approach to galactic leadership was different from what had come before. Instead of ruling through intimidation, humans offered protection to peaceful species and technological advancement to those who proved trustworthy. The result was a galaxy that was more stable and prosperous than it had been in centuries. Admiral Park Ji-woo had been promoted to Supreme Commander of Earth's forces, a position that made her the most powerful individual in the galaxy. She used that power carefully, establishing policies that promoted cooperation rather than conquest. "We're not trying to build an empire like the aliens did," she explained to Earth's Leadership Council. "We're creating a partnership of civilizations with humanity as the senior partner. It's more stable and more profitable for everyone involved. The galaxy's trade routes, which had been controlled by the three great civilizations for their own benefit, were now open to all peaceful species under human protection. Pirates and raiders found themselves facing advanced human patrol ships that made their old tactics useless. Commerce flourished under Earth's protection. Dr. Kim Soo-jin's research teams continued to make breakthrough discoveries by combining human innovation with alien knowledge. The galaxy's various species had developed different approaches to the same scientific problems, and humans excelled at finding ways to combine these approaches into something better than either could achieve alone. "We're developing technology that would have taken us centuries to discover on our own," she reported. "But more importantly, we're developing it in ways that the original creators never imagined. Human creativity combined with alien knowledge is producing results that surprise everyone." As the first year of human galactic leadership came to an end, the changes were visible throughout known space. Trade was more open, smaller civilizations were more secure, and technological advancement was happening faster than ever before. The galaxy that had once been divided between oppressive empires was becoming a cooperative community of species. But perhaps the most important change was in humanity itself. The species that had spent centuries being underestimated and dismissed had proven that they were capable of not just matching their former oppressors, but surpassing them in every way that mattered. Earth had gone from being a backwater planet to the center of galactic civilization in less than a year. The Indomitable continued its patrol of human space, no longer hiding from anyone. Its massive form served as both protector and symbol, proof that humanity had taken its place as the galaxy's dominant species. The hidden Supercarrier had emerged, and in doing so, it had changed the universe forever. The massive space station called Nexus Prime floated in the darkness between stars. It was huge, bigger than most moons, and served as the meeting place for the galaxy's most powerful alien races. Today, the station buzzed with activity as three great civilizations gathered for an emergency meeting. The Vorthak Empire ruled 1,000 worlds with their crystal-based technology. Their bodies looked like living glass, and they could communicate through light patterns. The Helix Collective had replaced most of their organic parts with machines, making them cold and calculating. The Drakmor Federation loved war and conquest, their red skin and sharp teeth making them look like demons from old Earth stories. For many years, these three powers had controlled the galaxy together. They divided up star systems, traded resources, and kept smaller species under their control. Earth was one of those smaller species. Humans were seen as useful workers who could fix machines and mine asteroids, but nothing more. Captain Lee Daeho stood on the bridge of his ship, the Soul's Pride. The old frigate was one of only 12 ships that made up Earth's entire visible fleet. The ship was 30 years old, patched together with spare parts and barely faster than a cargo hauler. Lee looked out at the stars and wondered why the Galactic Council had called this emergency meeting. His answer came in the form of a message that made his blood run cold. "Attention, human vessel," came a voice that sounded like grinding metal. It was a Helix Collective commander. "Your species has been judged inadequate for independent existence. The Galactic Council has voted. Earth must surrender all sovereignty within 72 hours or face complete destruction." Lee's hands gripped the command chair. Around him, his crew of 20 humans looked shocked and afraid. They had always known this day might come, but hearing it made it real and terrifying. "Sir," said his communications officer, "they're broadcasting this message to all human colonies and Earth itself." On Earth, Admiral Park Ji-woo received the same message in her office at Global Defense Command. She was 50 years old, with gray hair pulled back in a tight bun and eyes that had seen too much. As the head of Earth's defense forces, she knew better than anyone how hopeless their situation seemed. The Admiral called an emergency meeting. Within an hour, the leaders of every human colony and military base were connected through secure communication channels. Faces filled her screen, all showing the same expression of fear and desperation. "The aliens are giving us 3 days," Admiral Park said calmly. "They want complete surrender. No more human government, no more human military, no more freedom. What can we do?" asked General Kim from the Mars colony. "We have 12 ships against thousands. Our weapons are decades behind theirs. We can't fight the entire galaxy. Our only choice is surrender, said another voice. Maybe they'll let us live as slaves. Admiral Park listened to the discussion but said nothing. Her face remained calm, but inside she was making calculations. There was something the galaxy didn't know about. Something that had been Earth's greatest secret for 30 years. Deep in the asteroid belt, far from any normal shipping routes, Dr. Kim Soo-jin received a coded message on her secure terminal. The message contained activation codes she had hoped never to see. For over 10 years, she had been the head of Project Lazarus, Earth's most classified program. The doctor was in her 40s, brilliant, and completely dedicated to her work. She had spent her entire career working on projects that officially didn't exist. Today, her life's work would either save humanity or mean nothing at all. Begin Phase 1 activation, she told her team of 50 scientists and engineers. Authorization 77 Alpha. Miles away, hidden inside what looked like just another asteroid, massive systems began to wake up. Computers that had been sleeping for years started running programs. Power generators that could light up entire cities began their startup sequences. And in the center of it all, something enormous began to move. Back on Earth, panic was spreading through the human colonies. News networks showed aliens laughing as they discussed how easy it would be to crush the human fleet. Some alien commanders joked about keeping humans as pets after they conquered Earth. The Soul's Pride and Earth's 11 other ships moved into defensive positions around the home planet. They looked pathetic compared to what was coming. Long-range sensors showed the alien fleet approaching. Over 3,000 ships representing the combined military might of 3 galactic empires. Captain Lee Dae-ho tried to keep his crew calm, but he could see the fear in their eyes. They all knew they were flying to their deaths. The Soul's Pride had 4 laser cannons and basic shields. The alien ships had weapons that could crack planets and shields that could stop small moons. Sir, his sensor officer said quietly, I'm picking up some strange readings from the asteroid belt. What kind of readings? Power signatures, but they're not like anything in our database. Whatever it is, it's big. Admiral Park Ji-woo stood in the main command center, watching displays that showed the approaching alien fleet. Her staff worked around her, but she could feel their desperation. They were preparing for a battle they couldn't win with ships that shouldn't even try to fight. But the Admiral wasn't worried. She touched a secure communicator on her belt and spoke one word. Lazarus. The response came immediately. Lazarus is active. The package is ready for delivery. For the first time in days, Admiral Park allowed herself to smile. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity had been keeping secrets. For 30 years, while aliens saw humans as primitive and weak, Earth's best minds had been working on something that would change everything. The alien fleet was 2 days away from Earth. They expected to find 12 old human ships trying to protect a helpless planet. Instead, they were about to discover that humans were much more dangerous than anyone had ever imagined. Dr. Kim Soo-jin watched her screens as systems continued to activate. The project that had consumed her entire adult life was finally awakening. Soon, the galaxy would understand that underestimating humanity had been their biggest mistake. The countdown to humanity's ultimatum continued, but now Earth was ready to give the galaxy an answer they would never forget. Commander Yoon Tae-min flew his small stealth ship through the asteroid belt, following coordinates that only Earth's highest commanders knew. His ship was different from the old vessels everyone could see. It was sleek, fast, and completely invisible to normal sensors. Only a handful of people in the galaxy even knew it existed. Yoon was 35 years old and had been flying secret missions for 15 years. He had never talked about his real job even to his family. As far as they knew, he transported supplies between colonies. The truth was much more interesting and dangerous. His destination was an asteroid that looked exactly like thousands of others in the belt. It was big, dark, and seemed completely normal. But as his ship got closer, Yoon smiled. This wasn't just a rock floating in space. This was humanity's greatest secret. Lazarus Control, this is Shadow 7 requesting permission to dock, he said into his radio. Shadow 7, you are cleared for approach. Bay 12 is opening. The asteroid suddenly changed. What had looked like solid rock split open, revealing a docking bay that glowed with blue light. Yoon flew inside and the rock closed behind him like it had never opened at all. Inside the asteroid, Chief Engineer Choi Mi-ran watched thousands of displays showing the awakening of humanity's sleeping giant. She was 42 years old and had spent the last 12 years of her life working inside this hidden facility. The woman was small but tough, and she knew every system in this place better than anyone alive. Power Core 1 is online, reported one of her technicians. Power Core 2 is online, said another. All 6 cores are now active, Choi Mi-ran announced. We're generating enough power to run a small planet. The power cores weren't like anything the galaxy had seen before. They used quantum fusion technology that Earth scientists had developed by studying alien artifacts found on Mars decades ago. But humanity hadn't just copied alien technology. They had improved it, made it better, made it their own. Commander Yoon walked through corridors that seemed to go on forever. The asteroid wasn't hollow. It was filled with one enormous ship. The vessel was 15 kilometers long, 5 kilometers wide, and packed with technology that would have impressed even the most advanced alien civilizations. This was the Indomitable, Earth's first supercarrier. Captain Han So-young stood on the ship's bridge, looking out through windows that showed the inside of the asteroid. She was 38 years old and had been preparing for this moment for her entire career. Every training mission, every simulation, every test had been leading to today. All stations report ready, Captain, said her first officer. Begin launch sequence, Captain Han ordered. Today, the galaxy learns what humanity can really do. The Indomitable had been under construction for over 30 years. It started as a small research project studying alien technology recovered from crashed ships. But as human scientists learned more, the project grew bigger and more ambitious. They realized they could build something that would surprise everyone. The ship's AI system, called ARIA, began coordinating with Earth's defense networks. ARIA wasn't just a computer program, it was an artificial intelligence that could think and learn. It had been studying alien tactics and technology for years, waiting for this moment. Captain, Arya said in a voice that sounded completely human, all systems are functioning perfectly. The ship is ready for combat operations. Inside the Indomitable's massive launch base, pilot Lee Jun-ho checked his fighter for the 100th time. His ship looked nothing like the old fighters that everyone could see defending Earth. This was sleek, fast, and equipped with weapons that used principles the galaxy had never seen before. Lee was 28 years old and had been selected for this program when he was just 18. He had spent 10 years training in complete secrecy, learning to fly ships that officially didn't exist. His fighter could phase shift through solid matter, making shields and armor useless against it. All pilots, this is flight control, came a voice over the radio. Final systems check. Remember, today we show the galaxy what human pilots can do. Around Lee, hundreds of other pilots were doing the same checks. These weren't ordinary fighters. Each one was equipped with adaptive AI that could learn and change tactics during battle. Their weapons could adjust their frequency to pass through any known shield technology. Dr. Kim Soo-jin watched from her control center as the Indomitable prepared to reveal itself. She felt proud and terrified at the same time. This project had consumed her entire adult life, and now it would either save humanity or fail completely. All departments report ready, she announced. The package is ready for delivery. Chief Engineer Choi Mi-ran began the final sequence. Beginning asteroid shell separation in 10 minutes. All personnel, prepare for reveal. The asteroid that had hidden the Indomitable for so long was actually a carefully designed shell. It could split apart and fall away, revealing the massive ship inside. The engineering required to build this hiding place had been almost as difficult as building the ship itself. Commander Yoon took his position on the bridge as the countdown continued. Through the ship's sensors, he could see the alien fleet approaching Earth. They had no idea what was waiting for them. 5 minutes to reveal, Captain Han announced to her crew. Remember, we've trained for this moment for years. Earth is counting on us. The Indomitable wasn't just big. It was equipped with the most advanced technology humanity had ever built. Its quantum fusion reactors produced more power than most space stations. Its hull was made from materials that could withstand direct hits from planet-cracking weapons. Its shields used technology that the galaxy had never seen before. But the ship's real power wasn't in its size or weapons. It was in the surprise. For 30 years, the galaxy had seen humans as weak and primitive. They had no idea that Earth's greatest minds had been working in secret. developing technology that surpassed even the most advanced alien civilizations. 2 minutes to reveal, announced the ship's AI. The alien fleet was still 2 days away from Earth, confident that they would find only 12 old human ships waiting for them. They were flying toward what they thought would be an easy victory. Instead, they were about to face something that would change the balance of power in the galaxy forever. Beginning shell separation now, Chief Engineer Choi Mi-ran announced. The asteroid began to crack and fall away in carefully planned pieces. As it did, the Indomitable emerged like a metal mountain rising from the darkness. Its hull gleamed with power and its weapons ports looked like the eyes of some enormous beast. Captain Han So-young stood on her bridge and smiled. "Take us out, pilot. It's time to go home." The Indomitable moved through space toward Earth, no longer hiding from the galaxy's sensors. Soon, everyone would know that humanity had been keeping secrets. The combined alien fleet arrived at the edge of Earth's solar system like a swarm of metal locusts. Over 3,000 ships filled the darkness, representing the military might of 3 galactic empires. They came expecting to find 12 old human ships cowering near their homeworld. Supreme Commander Vorthak Crystallis stood in the command center of his flagship, a massive crystal vessel that sparkled with inner light. His body was made of living crystal that changed colors with his emotions. Right now he glowed with satisfaction and superiority. "Begin long-range scans," he ordered his crew. "Let's see what pathetic resistance the humans have prepared." The sensor reports came back quickly, and they were confusing. The 12 known human ships were there, positioned around Earth as expected. But there was something else. A massive energy signature moving from the asteroid belt toward the planet. "What is that reading?" Vorthak demanded. "Unknown, Supreme Commander," replied his sensor officer. "The energy signature is enormous, but we can't identify the source. Something is jamming our detailed scans." Admiral Helix Prime, commander of the Collective's robot fleet, spoke through the communication system. His voice sounded like grinding metal. "Perhaps the humans have built a space station. It will make no difference. Nothing they can build will save them." General Drakmor Rage, leader of the Federation's war fleet, laughed through the channel. His voice was rough and filled with violence. "Let them have their toys. We'll crush whatever they've made and enslave whatever's left." The 3 commanders were confident because they had good reason to be. Their combined fleet included ships that could crack moons, weapons that could boil oceans, and shields that could stop anything humans had ever built. They had faced rebellions before, and they always ended the same way. But something was different this time. The energy signature from the asteroid belt kept growing stronger, and their sensors couldn't penetrate the jamming that surrounded it. Whatever was coming toward them was big enough to power a small planet. On Earth, Admiral Park Ji-woo stood in the command center watching the alien fleet approach. Her staff looked nervous, but she remained calm. They could see the thousands of enemy ships on their screens. But they also saw something else, a friendly signal moving to intercept the aliens. "Admiral," said her communications officer, "the Indomitable is requesting permission to address the alien fleet." "Permission granted," Admiral Park replied. "It's time they learned the truth." The Indomitable dropped its cloaking field as it reached the halfway point between Earth and the alien fleet. Suddenly, every sensor in the alien armada detected something impossible. Where empty space had been moments before, now floated the largest ship any of them had ever seen. The vessel was 15 kilometers long and looked like it had been carved from black metal. Its hull was covered with weapons ports that glowed with blue energy. Launch bays ran along its sides like open wounds, ready to release whatever waited inside. Supreme Commander Vorthak's crystal body flashed from satisfaction to shock. "That's impossible. Humans don't build ships like that. It must be some kind of illusion," Admiral Helix Prime declared, but his voice carried doubt. "Run full spectrum analysis." The analysis came back the same way every time. The ship was real, it was massive, and it was definitely human in origin. The energy readings coming from it were beyond anything in their databases. Captain Han So-young stood on the Indomitable's bridge, looking at the alien fleet through her view screen. After years of hiding, it felt good to finally show herself. She opened a communication channel that reached every ship in the alien armada. "Alien fleet, this is Captain Han So-young of the Earth Defense Force vessel Indomitable," she said calmly. "You have entered human space without permission. You have 30 minutes to withdraw beyond the edge of this system. This is your only warning. The response was immediate laughter from all three alien commanders. "One ship," General Drakmore Rage roared. "You think one ship can threaten our entire fleet? Even if it's big, we have 3,000 vessels." "Humans are even more stupid than we thought," Vorthak said, his crystal body glowing with amusement. "We will destroy your toy and then burn your planet." "Begin attack formation," Admiral Helix Prime ordered. "Let's end this quickly." Captain Han watched as the alien fleet moved into attack position. She had trained for this moment for years, but actually seeing 3,000 enemy ships preparing to fire was still impressive. Too bad for them that size wasn't everything. "Launch all fighters," she ordered. The Indomitable's launch bays opened like the mouth of some mechanical monster. Wave after wave of human fighters poured out, moving with precision and speed that should have been impossible. There were thousands of them, more than anyone had thought the carrier could hold. Pilot Lee Junho led the first squadron of advanced interceptors. His fighter was sleek and deadly, equipped with technology that the galaxy had never seen. Behind him flew hundreds of other pilots, all trained in secret, all ready to show the aliens what human skill could accomplish. "All pilots, engage at will," came the order from flight control. "Show them what we've learned." The first alien ships opened fire, expecting their advanced weapons to cut through the human fighters like they were made of paper. Instead, something impossible happened. The human ships simply passed through the energy beams like ghosts, completely unaffected. "What is happening?" Vorthak demanded. "Why aren't our weapons working?" His weapons officer checked the systems frantically. "All weapons are functioning normally, Supreme Commander. The humans are using some kind of phase shift technology. Our energy weapons can't touch them." The human fighters moved through the alien formations like deadly dancers. Their weapons fired strange blue beams that passed through alien shields as if they didn't exist. Ship after ship began exploding as the humans struck critical systems with impossible accuracy. Commander Yoon Tai Min coordinated the attack from his advanced command fighter. He could see the confusion spreading through the alien fleet as their tactics failed completely. Their weapons couldn't hit human ships, their shields couldn't stop human weapons, and their formation was being torn apart. "Target the command ships first," he ordered over the tactical channel. "Let's cut off their coordination." The alien fleet tried to adapt, but nothing worked. They fired missiles that passed harmlessly through phase-shifted fighters. They tried to ram the human ships, but the fighters simply shifted back to normal space and destroyed their attackers. They attempted to retreat, but the humans had already disabled their jump drives. Supreme Commander Vorthak watched in horror as his crystal flagship's shields failed under human weapons fire. Around him, his most advanced warships were being destroyed by fighters that shouldn't have been able to scratch their paint. "This is impossible," he screamed. "Humans are primitive. They can't have technology like this." But they did have it, and they were using it with devastating effect. In less than an hour, the most powerful fleet ever assembled was being systematically destroyed by ships and weapons that officially didn't exist. Admiral Park Ji-woo watched the battle from Earth, feeling a mixture of pride and satisfaction. For 30 years, humanity had been seen as weak and primitive. Today, the galaxy was learning the truth. Humans were neither weak nor primitive. They had just been very good at keeping secrets. The alien fleet's confident assault had turned into a complete disaster. Ships that had seemed invincible were exploding like fireworks, and their supposedly superior technology was useless against human innovation. Captain Han So-young stood on her bridge, watching the tactical display as alien ships fell by the dozens. The Indomitable itself hadn't even needed to fire its main weapons yet. The fighters were handling everything perfectly. "Communications," she ordered. "Open a channel to all surviving alien vessels." Her voice reached every ship in what remained of the enemy fleet. "Alien commanders, you now see what happens when you underestimate humanity. Surrender immediately, or we will destroy every last one of your ships." The galaxy was about to learn a very important lesson about judging others by their appearance.